awareness. Hello everyone, welcome to Phani EHS Info, a learning platform for safety. This session aims to improve awareness of environmental protection, reduce risks to alert levels, and ensure compliance with environmental laws while fostering a sustainable workplace culture. Let's work together toward a greener, more responsible future. What is environment? Imagine the environment as our shared home, a delicate balance of living and non-living elements that sustain life. It includes living organisms, humans, animals, plants, and microorganisms that coexist and interact. Natural resources, air, water, soil, and ecosystems that provide us with essentials like clean air and food. Man-made structures are industries, cities, and roads, which constantly interact with the natural world. Wildlife is the variety of plants, animals, fungi, and microorganisms that thrive in natural or altered habitats, each playing a crucial role in maintaining ecological balance. Why is environmental monitoring important? Environmental monitoring is like a health checkup for our planet. It helps us detect and address environmental impacts early, safeguard flora and fauna from harmful activities, evaluate and improve corrective measures, comply with local and global environmental laws, enhance company reputation through responsible practices, ensure a sustainable future for generations to come. Types of environmental pollution. 1. Air pollution. Think of the air as the Earth's lungs. Polluting it with gases like carbon dioxide, ozone, and SF6 affects not only us but the entire ecosystem. 2. Water pollution. Water is life. Polluting it with chemicals, untreated sewage, and all spills threatens aquatic life and reduces safe drinking water availability. 3. Land pollution. Our soil is the foundation of life. Activities like construction, waste mismanagement, and chemical spills degrade its quality and harm plant growth. 4. Noise pollution. Excessive noise from construction, vehicles, and industries can stress animals, disrupt their habitats, and affect human mental health. What damage do we cause to the environment? Our actions, big and small, leave footprints on the environment. Some examples include air pollution, harmful emissions from vehicles, factories, and even certain industrial processes like SF6 release. Water pollution, chemicals, oils, and untreated wastewater contaminating rivers and oceans. Land pollution, improper disposal of waste, chemical spills, and deforestation leading to soil degradation. Noise pollution, loud machinery, and vehicles disrupting ecosystems and human well-being. Waste management. Waste management in industrial and construction operations. Waste from industries, mining, agriculture, domestic, hospitals, and public establishments must be managed in compliance with environmental laws. Proper disposal, recycling, and neutralization are essential for protecting public health and the environment. Non-hazardous waste. Non-hazardous waste poses no significant risk to health or the environment when handled properly. Examples include accommodation waste, non-hazardous empty drums, scrap metals, dewatered sludge, concrete waste, construction debris, metal waste, food waste, wastewater, sewage, cleaning water from housekeeping, uncontaminated personal protective equipment, PPE waste, plastic waste, such as PET bottles and polythene waste. Hazardous waste. Hazardous waste requires special handling due to its potential risk. Examples include waste transformer oil, waste hydraulic oil, Used batteries. Empty SF6 cylinders. Electronic waste e-waste. Empty chemical containers. Used oil containers. Used grease cans. Used silicone sealant cans and guns. Empty fire extinguishers and refrigerant cylinders. Electrical cable waste. Rubber V-belts. Foam pieces. Contaminated or damaged PPE. Waste tires. Fused bulbs and tube lights. Paint containers. Air and oil filters. Waste management on construction sites. Hazardous waste storage. Hazardous waste must be stored in a designated, centralized facility with proper labeling and containment. It must be transported by licensed agencies, with consignment notes maintained. Monitoring and disposal. Waste should be monitored and recorded by type and quantity. Non-hazardous waste must be disposed of at municipal dump sites or recycled through authorized recyclers. Storage facility standards. Waste storage should be fire-resistant, pollutant-controlled, adequately sized, and secured. Separate hazardous and non-hazardous waste. Specific waste disposal guidelines. Lead-acid batteries must be returned to suppliers under a buyback scheme. Dry cell batteries should be returned to the supplier and never disposed of in general waste. Printer cartridges, purchase remanufactured or recycled cartridges. Cylinders, fire extinguishers, SF6, refrigerants must be punctured or cut before disposal. Aerosol cans should be punctured and treated as hazardous waste. Fluorescent bulbs treat as e-waste due to toxic materials. Key environmental regulations in Oman. International Environmental Regulations. ISO 14001, Environmental Management Systems. This global standard provides a framework for organizations to manage their environmental responsibilities and reduce their environmental impact through an effective environmental management system, EMS. Kyoto Protocol and Paris Agreement. These treaties aim to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. The Kyoto Protocol set binding targets for developed countries, while the Paris Agreement strives to limit global warming to below 2 degrees Celsius, aiming for 1.5 degrees Celsius. Basel Convention. This treaty regulates the movement of hazardous waste across borders to ensure environmentally sound disposal and prevent harm to human health and the environment. Montreal Protocol, aimed at phasing out ozone-depleting substances to protect the ozone layer. This treaty has been instrumental in preventing further atmospheric damage. Stockholm Convention. This treaty focuses on eliminating or restricting persistent organic pollutants, POPs, harmful chemicals that threaten human health and the environment. National Environmental Regulations. India. The Environmental Protection Act, 1986, forms the core of India's environmental laws, supported by the Water and Air Pollution Control Acts of 1974 and 1981, which manage water and air quality respectively. United Kingdom. The Environmental Protection Act, 1990, regulates waste management and pollution, while the Climate Change Act, 2008, sets targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Australia. The Environmental Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act, 1999, provides a framework for biodiversity protection and managing environmental impacts of development activities. Oman. Royal Decree No. 114/2001 governs environmental conservation, while Ministerial Decision No. 18/93 regulates the safe handling of hazardous chemicals to minimize environmental risks. How can we protect our environment at work? By adopting simple yet impactful practices, we can protect our shared home. Let's start with 10 key environmental practices for site operations. 1. Fuel management. The HSE plan should designate specific refueling and fuel storage locations to ensure safe operation and environmental protection. Best practices include maintaining clean, well-functioning refueling equipment, using secondary containment for fuel tanks, and utilizing double-walled storage tanks for added security. 2. Environmental Impact Assessments, EIA. Before starting any project, conduct an environmental impact assessment to identify potential environmental impacts. This helps to develop strategies to mitigate any negative effects before operations begin. 3. Resource conservation. Use water and energy efficiently to reduce environmental footprints. Implement resource-saving practices to minimize waste, conserve energy, and ensure responsible use of water across all operations. 4. Waste management. Proper waste disposal and recycling practices are essential. Segregate waste types, store hazardous and non-hazardous waste separately, and ensure hazardous waste is transported by licensed agencies with proper documentation. Recycle whenever possible to minimize landfill contributions. 5. Emergency response. Ensure that all employees are trained to handle spills or leaks promptly. A robust emergency response plan should be in place to mitigate environmental harm during incidents like fuel or chemical spills. 6. Incident reporting. Report all environmental incidents immediately to initiate corrective actions. Examples include improper storage of transformer oil, hazardous substance releases, fuel spills, sewage overflow, mixing of hazardous waste with non-hazardous waste, and SF6 leaks. 7. Contractor management. Ensure that contractors follow the same environmental standards set by the company. Contractors must comply with waste management guidelines and resource conservation practices to maintain environmental integrity across the project. 8. Rewarding good practices. Recognize and reward employees who contribute positively to environmental protection. This encourages a culture of sustainability and responsibility within the organization, motivating others to adopt environmentally friendly practices. 9. Waste management process. Waste generated on-site should be collected, segregated, and securely stored. Notify the waste management coordinator or supervisor and ensure that crews are equipped for proper waste collection. Waste must be safely transported to designated yards for disposal or recycling. 10. Environmental monitoring. Regular monitoring is essential to ensure compliance and minimize environmental impact. Key monitoring activities include emission tests, annual tests for diesel generator sets. Noise monitoring, yearly ambient environmental noise checks for all grid stations. Waste management, track hazardous waste disposal, example, waste oil, sewage disposal, transformer oil consumption, and battery disposal as they occur. SF6 usage, monitor and report on SF6 usage and losses every 6 months. Refrigerant use, track refrigerant usage as needed. Waste management process. Waste generated on-site must follow a clear process to ensure proper handling and disposal. 1. Waste is generated on-site. 2. It is collected at a designated point and secured. 3. The waste management coordinator or supervisor is notified. 4. The waste is segregated by the crew. 5. Collected waste is sent to the yard. 6. Crews with necessary equipment are dispatched to collect and manage waste. Emergency response. Emergencies can happen, but being prepared can make all the difference. Examples of environmental emergencies include oil or chemical spills, Wastewater overflow. Hazardous waste mix-ups. In such cases, immediately report the incident to the senior manager, HSE. Contain and clean up the spill using appropriate equipment. Record the incident and implement measures to prevent recurrence. Conclusion. Protecting the environment is essential for both current and future generations. By following legal regulations and best practices, we can prevent costly penalties, reputation damage, and legal consequences. Implementing environmental impact assessments, resource conservation measures, responsible waste management, and emergency response preparedness will contribute to a sustainable, safe, and environmentally friendly operation. Let's prioritize environmental protection in every step of our work. Protecting our environment today for a sustainable tomorrow.
This is all about today's topic. Thanks for watching Phani EHS Info. And don't forget to subscribe our channel to get immediate notification of our videos. Share our videos to your friends and colleagues to create safety awareness. If you have any questions and requirements, please comment in comment box.